Chris. It's the playoffs. Sum up your emotions right now.
Yeah, do you know what? I've just thought about that in terms of speaking to the players. I want us to get into 90 points, the 90 points total. For two teams, congratulations to Daniel and Scott and their two teams. For those two teams to hit 100 points, or have the ability to get 100 points, just shows you what the division's like. And we've finished up the third best team in the division. The game, the season went to the 44th game of the season. I thought we had a right go tonight. We created some good chances. The goals have killed us. We've conceded 2 poor goals. We have to do better on the clearance, and obviously the penalty hands the initiative back into them. But we always looked like we could score. Just needed to make better decisions in and around the box and show a little bit more quality. But this team got put together. I was just talking to them there. Team got put together in the summer. Everybody knows what happened last year, and I remember going to Huddersfield a week before the start of the season, and basically it was an under-21 team with a few players added in. So we've had to learn on the job. The season didn't end here, as I said. It ended when we didn't put, the current form Oxford to bed. You can lose a game in the Championship and you can't go and get beat at Plymouth, even though Coventry have got beat and Middlesbrough should have drawn last week. But those were the games that really have cost us. We'd have still have had to get, as you know, we'd have still have had to get 90, 95, 96, 97 points to go up. It's an insane season. Our younger players will learn from it. There's players playing at the top end of the Championship that will learn from it for the first time. The Harrisons and Coopers and Femis and City Peck, Jerseys and all those. We've fallen a little bit short. We've been the third best team in the division. People have their opinion on it. I think from where we were on that night at Huddersfield to taking it to 44 games, I think there'd have been a small percentage of our supporters would think that we would get into 90 points. We have that opportunity and ability to still do that. I'm desperately wanting us to do that. Break the club record. I know it's not automatic promotion. I don't subscribe to the playoff nonsense. This club will be here for the next 100 years or 200 years. They will win a playoff. They will win playoff games and they will win a playoff final. If nothing daft in the world goes wrong, there'll still be footballing as it was 150 years ago. There will still be footballing in 150 years' time, and this club will still be here, and it'll still be fighting, and there'll be playoffs, and there'll be playoff success. Newcastle haven't won a trophy for so long, and everybody's talking about that. They go to Wembley and beat Liverpool. So we have to dust ourselves down. It's a new set of players. It's a new group with a new attitude from last year. And today, in a way, I thought the attitude of the players was outstanding. I thought they gave everything. We've just a bit naive at times with the goals, the decisions we made, and we have to learn if we're going to succeed when the bullets are firing, because they're going to be some big games now. Bramall Lane. The home leg of the game will be off the charts. I'm sure it will be. The support tonight again was outstanding in a tough environment, and we've got to dust ourselves down and go again, and we'll certainly do that.
How much are the next couple of games about then psychologically and physically preparing for said playoffs?
Well, yeah, we'll know a little bit more now in terms of doing our research and analysis on the teams that we potentially can play, but we want to go and get 90 odd points. That was going to be the target. I've got to protect a few players. These players that really shouldn't have played tonight. Players that were, really could only do a certain amount of minutes, which has been an issue for us all season. That's why we've had to change the team around. Delighted for Tom to get his goal. I thought Big Kiefer played well and put himself about. We just got, we can't stop feeling sorry for ourselves. I don't think people expect me to, and the coaches and the players. We've got to raise ourselves, lift ourselves, and go again. It's part and parcel of football. We've fell just a little bit short, but we haven't disgraced ourselves. We haven't let anybody down, hopefully the majority of the supporters will see that and back us in the playoff games. And if we get the better of 45 minutes in the playoffs, we have a return trip to Wembley. But first and foremost is getting themselves right for Stoke on Friday night and finish the season on a high.
Yeah. one of the sort of sub-headlines of today is Tom, isn't it? You know, he's had not a loads of minutes because of his injuries, etc., but quite significant that he has scored today.
Yeah, he was up against arguably the best player in the division, so it was great for him. He's going to be a good player for us. I don't think he's had many chances. His injury came at an unfortunate time for him, and then Tyrese got into the team and scored some goals, and obviously won EFL Player of the Month as well. So his form kept Tom out, and that's how it is. That's good for us, but delighted for Tom. Ultimately, disappointed that I believe we deserved the result tonight. I'm not so sure I'm looking through rose-tinted glasses. I thought we did enough to get a result, but we've fallen a little bit short. But Tom scoring, us showing that ability to fight and scrap against the team that's gone 31 games unbeaten. Them two have been the best two teams, and as I said, for two teams to get 100 points, and possibly it'll go down to goal difference is just shows you. And then we've got to deal with the playoffs, and we'll end up being 20 odd points clear of those teams that get in the playoffs. But we all know what the playoffs are like. The slate gets wiped clean, and we have to go and prove ourselves. But there's enough about us in that change room to go and do that.
And that's when you perhaps do look at the players that have been in such circumstances before that can rattle off the tongue, but your Robbos and players that have just got promotions on the CV.
Got promotions. Keith has played in the World Cup. Gus has played in a playoff final. So has the other players. There's loads of experience there, and the players tonight will learn from a big game, because it was a big game. We had to play well. We had to be pretty faultless in terms of our defensive work, which we weren't, and we had to be super clinical at the top of the pitch, which we weren't. And the top of the pitch just isn't around the penalty area. So it's the build, it's the final moments, it's the final actions, and we were just a little bit maybe rushed or tried to force it a little bit. But hopefully that experience of tonight will do us a world of good going into those games.